First wanted to review from a lesson from last year where we talked about, so this is our unit, our golden bead, right? And in relation to geometry, we can call this a point. So like when we make a dot or a point, it's kind of like our origin where things start. And we know with our golden beads, if we put 10 of the points together or 10 of the units together, then we will get.
Got it.
Got it. Awesome, Lou. Then we will get our 10 bar, or we will call this a line. And lines, this is a line, and this is a line, and this is a line, this is a line. Lines can go on forever in that way, and forever in that way, and that way. We can have straight lines, we can have curvy lines, we can have vertical lines, horizontal lines, diagonal lines. We can have angles. We can do all kinds of things with lines, which is what we're going to go into more with our art. And then we talked about last year how our 100 piece is flat. It's a surface. It's a plane, a flat surface, like your piece of paper, the piece of paper that Kaylin is holding. That is a surface, yes. Or your table, these flat two-dimensional shapes, any one of our two-dimensional shapes, those are planes, those are surfaces. And then, of course, we have our three-dimensional shapes that we can see from all kinds of sides and angles. And here we have a cube. But of course, there are many kinds of shapes. Marshall is holding up a cylinder. That is a 3D shape. Yep, our solid. So all these are solids, right? So does this form look familiar? Let me share my screen. Where did that go? Do you guys remember this? Where you went on a hunt in your house and you found all the points and lines and planes and solids? Yep.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, well, that's all right. Marshall kind of remembers. Well, so we have a little read aloud that's fun, and then we're going to talk more about line. You guys ready for the read aloud? Yes, good. I'm going to share my screen. Can everybody see the book?
Yes.
Okay, good. So our book is Art and Max by David Weissner. Okay, don't miss it. Eliana, Lucian, hold on, you'll get to draw more in just a minute. All right. Art and Max. Careful, Max. Hey, Art, that's great. The name is Arthur. I can paint too, Arthur. You, Max? Don't be ridiculous. Oh, all right. Just don't get in the way. Arthur, what should I paint? Well, you could paint me. You? Really? What are you doing? I'm painting you. Ta-da! What do you think? This is preposterous. Oh, turn around. I missed a spot. Max! Wow! Oh, Max, what have you done? I feel strange. Have a drink of water. I'll get some more. Oh! Hold on, Art. It's Arthur. Don't go. Arthur? Aha. Okay, here goes. More detail, I think. That's how Arthur would look if I tried to draw him. Yes, pointy bits like this. How's that? Acceptable, I suppose, but don't forget my foot. Come back here, you're not finished. Now what? Just hold still, Arthur. Fascinating. Yes, yay! Let's paint some more. All right, Max, let's get started. The end. So, I like that.
Like giants.
Huh?
They were like giants.
Yeah, giant lizards, but not dinosaurs. So, we're going to talk about lines. Line, line, everywhere, line. Ah.
Hold up, Miss Brenda, I have to get something.
Okay. So, all right. You can do so much with line. Lines are amazing. And you can use different techniques to draw and shade. And one of those techniques, can you guys see my paper okay?
Yeah.
All right. So one of those is stippling. And stippling takes a while, but it's like you're basically shading it with dots. So you take your dots, and you dot, 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 dot. And if you get them really close together, of course, it'll get darker. But that's stippling. Do you guys want to see a piece of art that I did with using a lot of stippling? It took a long time. You guys want to see? Because you get to be in my house. We don't get to do lessons like that usually. So I did this in high school. I took a picture of this kid I saw at the fair, and then I drew them and I used stippling. So do you see how all those little tiny dots?
No.
You guys don't see that? Like on his face and arm. Do you see on his arm?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's shading. That's all done with little teeny tiny dots. It took a really long time.
How did you do that?
All I did was have a pen, and I took patience, and I dot, 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 dot.
What about white and the other colors?
Well, if you do it on the white, then what you don't put the dots on will be white.
What about the other colors? There was green.
Oh, so I used some other line techniques. So the stippling was mainly on the body, and then this was kind of, so he was like in front of a little fence. And so I just thought it was cool to like kind of make it look like, this part's in pen and ink, but then this is just like crown, and it's just shading. So I just used different shapes and stuff that I thought looked cool. and I cut it out, like I cut out, so kind of give it this 3D effect. And I made like layers with the board that I made. So I was just experimenting with stuff. So that's what you can do with art. You can be like,
What?
I want to try different things. Oh, hold on.
So you know, sometimes like I think it's when you put your fingers on the microphone where you
Oh, so I
where
get
the
muffled.
sound.
Got you. Sorry about that. Hold on, I think I need to turn
And it
my
and it makes like that kind of
Okay.
hotspot on.
Yeah, I think my internet's kind of starting to cut out, so hold on.
It's also happened with one of your videos before too.
Oh, got you. Got you, got you. So weird that I have to do it like this, but I'm glad I figured it out.
What?
All right, now I think we're good to go. Sorry about
We
that.
can see you.
You see me?
Yeah. Well, at least I can see Lewis and everybody else.
But you can't see me?
No,
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. So let's get back.
For me, you're frozen right now. I don't know about other people.
So let's get back to our lines. So I'm going to show you different techniques.
No, no, I don't.
So hatching is really cool. This is one of my favorite ones. You can like make some lines going that way, and then maybe you want to make some lines going this way, and then maybe some diagonal lines. And then you can make more like that. See how I'm doing that? And it kind of gives this cool effect. I'm going kind of fast, but see that? That's called hatching. You can shade just doing vertical lines, just going making lines, line everywhere, line. We can scribble. That's kind of fun just sometimes to just scribble, right? Scribbling. Contour lines are cool. I bet you all have done this at one point where you draw a shape. So let's say I want to do a star, and then you go along the outside of your shape and you keep doing that. See? Contour.
Done that on a sequin pillow before.
Ooh, cool.
Pillow. I used hearts,
Yeah,
but there was only room for 3.
nice. So,
Pretty star.
yeah, thanks. So I will put an example up of this of some different lines because there's so many ways to make lines. This is from the last group, but I only got one of these printed out. You know, we can make geometric planes, all these different shapes. My shapes are really, because I was drawing from a weird angle, you know, but you can do a pentagon. It has 5 sides, right? Pentagon that looks like a house. Yep. Semicircle. So that's like half of our circle. We have organic, freeform, and natural shapes. So shapes that form naturally. Freeform is just can be anything, right? Natural shapes, this is a really bad leaf. like a leaf. Those are natural shapes. We also have the dot and circle family. Dot or point, right? Oval.
I want to do that too, but I don't have paper like that.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna upload it to Seesaw and Google Classroom. If you can't print it, don't worry, I'll put it up there so you can see it, and you can just do your best to copy on a spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can label it if you want.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I can print it out. I think I can print it. I don't know though.
Yeah.
I'll try to print it. I'll try my best to print it.
Okay, Eliana. So then we have straight lines. You can have skinny straight lines or thick straight lines, right? You can have vertical, or this was horizontal, or you can have diagonal. You can have lines that cross each other. You have the curved line family where you can curve up and curve down, and this way and that way, or maybe make a little spiral, or you can spiral all around with curved lines. And then the angle family is like our angles, where you have two straight lines meeting, and these are angles. So all kinds of different things that we can do with lines. So after you do like some practicing, I put all these up and you do some practicing with making these different kinds of lines. Maybe you want to make your own kind of art project where you practice several of these together. Like I remember one year in elementary school, with that first thing I showed you where I was doing all the different techniques. Oh, I do want to show you cross hatching is like another one of my favorites. So this is hatching, right? And I'll have the example with this all filled in, but this is hatching. Cross hatching is like you start off doing the same thing, make your lines, but then you cross over it and it'll make it darker, you know, where you cross. So it's another way of like shading. I wish I had, there was another art project I did in high school where I used all cross hatching to do the shading of the people's faces, and it was pretty cool, I thought. So maybe you want to, like, what I was saying was like I made a haunted house, and I like all the different parts of the haunted house had different different line techniques. So experiment. Maybe you come up with some, there's so many things you can do with line. I bet you can find different things that I didn't show you. So there you go. That's your lesson for the day, and I'm gonna put all this stuff up. Yes, Lucian.
I was making a rocket, and this was the elevator part, and it kind of, and then like that.
Nice. So I see you're cross hatching. Mm-hmm.
That sounded right.
Awesome. Kaylin?
I don't believe what just happened.
What just happened? You're all echoey.
Oh. Our fridge was left open.
Your what was left open?
Our fridge.
Oh, darn.
But she's living